Eternal Embrace. Chapter 1. Sunrise Whispers. The salty scent of the ocean filled my lungs as I stepped onto the weathered wooden planks of Lighthouse Cove's shore, the first rays of sunlight peeking through the clouds to paint a serene dawn scene before me. It was like stepping into a dream, an escape from the cacophony of memories that haunted me. My footsteps echoed along the desolate beach as I walked toward the crashing waves, carrying with them the weight of every heartache and decision that led me here. A town's remoteness often masked its true nature. Lighthouse Cove was no exception. Secrets nestled within the quaint houses, hidden behind weathered facades and painted smiles. Time seemed to stand still as a figure materialized from the distance. His silhouette stood against the sky, an artist with his easel and canvases, lost in the world of colors. I couldn't help but be drawn to him, the way he danced between brushstrokes and the ocean breeze. Intrigued, I drew closer, my feet carrying me toward the enigmatic stranger without conscious thought. He noticed me, yet didn't flinch or look away. In that moment, a connection sparked. It was as if an invisible thread tied us to this place. My past whispered warnings of fleeting connections, but he beckoned with his gaze. Our first words were laced with hesitation on the salty air, pleasantries about sunrise and art. Alexander echoed in my ears as I introduced myself, while he wore no name. In that simple exchange, a promise hung between us like an unsaid truth. Each encounter passed, each day's sun rose, yet our chance meetings remained unspoken truths between us. His paintings captivated me. They weren't just reflections of the world but whispers of the soul. One fateful morning changed everything. I strolled along the shore and found myself before his gallery, Azure Dreams, with an auctioneer's voice echoing in my mind, "Sophia, do you have any higher bids?" The painting I had unwittingly purchased from Alexander was a masterpiece, Eternal Embrace. When our eyes met, time seemed to bend. He didn't mask surprise. Instead, his gaze lingered as if the world stood still. My pulse raced at his words, "Please return for restoration." A private art lesson in exchange, an invitation I couldn't refuse. Days turned into weeks of anticipation. In the gallery's dim light, Alexander presented a palette to me with hands that seemed chiseled from ancient stone and eyes that could read every thought. Art lessons unfolded as scheduled, yet our passion grew beyond brushstrokes. It was in the way we'd linger over unfinished canvases, the space between us charged with possibilities. A shared laugh would shatter this fragile dance. I feared losing the sanctuary his art had become. Leaving meant giving up a piece of myself. As classes concluded, he'd walk me out, and our hands would brush against each other, fingers intertwining as if guided by an unseen force. One evening, amidst the symphony of creaking piers and whispers within the gallery's walls, Alexander handed me an envelope. "Meet me here at dawn tomorrow." The note inside revealed the location of a secluded spot where he planned to restore my painting. Sunrise painted the sky as I arrived, the enigmatic stranger standing before his masterpiece with brush in hand. Our eyes met, then, we began to dance between lines and colors, our bodies closer than intended, yet never touching. In that moment, an unspoken pact forged between us. Chapter 2. Secrets Under Canvas. The restored, eternal embrace was more breathtaking than I remembered. Alexander watched me from across the room during my first visit, eyes holding a depth only a lover could understand. Our exchanges were measured, our laughter infrequent, but a silent language developed between us. On a day drenched in autumn mist, Sophia's presence startled him as he restored his art. I see you've returned. He gestured toward the painting, now radiating with renewed life. In exchange for that, I expect private lessons. As days blurred into weeks, our art classes transformed from passion to intimate moments where vulnerability became a brushstroke and laughter a color in our palette. Alexander's past haunted him. My fear of love had roots deeper than his scars could tell. The local newspaper's headlines whispered about Lighthouse Cove scandal, hinting at secrets I couldn't fathom, yet it was the danger lurking beneath those words that made each moment together feel both precious and perilous. I decided to confront him on a day as gray as my heart, Alexander. His eyes narrowed at my use of his name. Why do you paint these sunrises? Is it solitude or obsession? A fleeting smile tugged at the corners of his mouth before he turned back to his canvas. Obsession, but not with the dawn. I feel your gaze. The gallery buzzed with activity as patrons attended an exhibition. He offered a private viewing after hours in exchange for my lessons. My stomach flopped. The intimacy was too close. Yet, I needed closure. His studio echoed with our breathing and the rhythmic stroke of brushes against canvas. Why here? Why this art? The question hung heavier than the salt air as Alexander's brush slowed, his gaze locked onto mine, vulnerability seeping from his soul. Perhaps it is you who understands me best. His words were my solace amidst whispers of a tainted past and secrets in the papers. He proposed an exhibit showcasing his art, claiming each piece told a story, a tale yet untold. I agreed, sensing it was our stories intertwining on those canvases. As we parted ways that night, I held a newspaper clipping, Alexander Wilder's Scandal Unveiled. The headline hinted at the enigmatic gallery owner's involvement in an affair with the town's most influential family. Heart-pounding, Sophia knew what she had to do, attend his show or flee before love was drenched in scandal. Chapter 3. Tidal Wave. As I entered the packed exhibition hall, eyes scanned for a glimpse of the man whose life seemed woven from the art he created and sold. Alexander's gaze found me, his smile a testament to our bond and the secrets we hid behind painted sunrises. The room was alive with the hum of murmurings and hushed truths. His voice boomed, "My stories are not for everyone." I took a seat at an easel. He began painting as I sat in silence, his strokes fluid like an invitation to enter the canvas. As he finished the final piece, patrons dispersed, leaving us with only our art. Meet me behind Azure Dreams after the exhibit. I arrived to find Alexander beneath eternal embrace, brushes poised between his hands and the painting's edge, as if preparing for something more. "I know your life is intertwined with Wilder's," I said softly. A nod was answer enough. The room emptied but echoes lingered. "Let me show you what it truly means to be told in color." He kissed me under the dawn, Lighthouse Cove scandal, fading away like sunsets on canvas. Together we stepped into a gallery of our own making, every piece telling us, our love and secrets intertwined with the world outside. His hand tightened around mine as I entered his office. Eternal embrace framed his desk. Alexander told me about an affair gone wrong, a heartbroken daughter who ignited the town scandal with her father's wife. The night ended in passion, the dawn of something more, and an embrace that promised the sunrise would never be lonely again. Our first kiss was beneath eternal embrace, as if painting us, together, had always been his goal. I took his hand, he took to my lips, our love and art entwined under that canvas where it all began. Together, we could face any truth. In the still of dawn's arrival, we stood before the sunrise after a new piece. "Let this be us," he whispered. The painting seemed to pulse with life as we shared an unspoken promise. Our love was the new chapter in the tale Azure Dreams would tell. As we stood there, I realized art and love could heal just as well as expose. Our hands released from lips and intertwined, we'd face whatever secrets came with it together. And when dawn broke, eternal embrace transformed into new beginnings, a testament to love's power, the promise of what we found in Azure Dreams' walls. As I left his studio, he whispered, "Meet me at sunrise." A single brush stroke joined our fingers. We walked toward a new chapter, one where love and art painted dawn together.